Hi everybody, it's Kristina Dennis, the Transformational Self-Empowerment Master, and I just realized how purple my lipstick looks. Okay, well, there you go. All right, fix the hair, because otherwise it bugs me. And I listened to a YouTube, or I think it must have been a TED Talk about a person. She was from Belfast, so she was very Scottish, and she talked about the fact that none of us really know what we look like, that the mirror isn't necessarily uh, a true image of what other people see when they look at us. And I guess there's a certain two-way mirror where it's a mirror reflecting another mirror, and every time you look at it, you don't realize that you hold your head crooked. And I could totally understand, because every time I come in here, I think my face is crooked. Anyway, that's not the point. So what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about words and the power of words. And I know I drill this home a lot, but sometimes we need to hear it a lot. And because we've heard, or I'm assuming a lot of us have had the negative messages for a long time, either self-talk, the way we were raised, that we're really not sure exactly what we want to be, or is it okay to feel good about ourselves, that we're a little uncertain, especially if you're just starting this. And what I really, really want everybody to know about transformations and doing the work on yourself and in your inside self, the number one purpose is to become the highest, truest version of yourself. And if you were like me and you were a codependent, I was putting on many faces for many people. Or I was an addict, avoiding life, therefore never really showing up as myself. Therefore, nobody really knew who I was. And even if you liked me, you didn't really like the real me. So it was kind of like not studying for a test that you were afraid you were going to pass or fail, I mean. And then if you failed, well, I didn't really study. And I have done a lot of work to dispel that and to come into the life that I am looking for. And I would have to say, when people ask me, what is it that you do? Well, I tend to work with people who have been through something. And if you're not going through something, good for you. But most of us are either going into something, coming out of something, or right smack in the middle of something. And I like to work with that kind of situation, whether it's a woman in her second half of her life like me, or starting a family. There's some kind of big change or some kind of trauma to come through, and that's why I get on this in this platform through YouTube and Facebook and share about all of the little things that we can do every day to exercise our brain and change what we're doing, and then therefore change ourselves, and being completely comfortable waking up every day knowing that you're doing exactly what you were meant to do. In the long run, in the big picture, it's got to be the best feeling ever. It's better than any kind of thing that you could purchase, is knowing I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to have been doing. And I am progressing, and I am here and present. There's nothing that feels like that. So I want to talk about words being incredibly powerful. And I brought this up, and I've talked about affirmations. When I work with somebody individually and we're about to start digging into some of the stuff that we need to let go of, this person needs to let go of, I always start with 50 assets. And the reason is that most of us can, name a million things that we do wrong. Sometimes we're even off base. We're wrong about what we think we're doing wrong. And sometimes we take responsibility for everything, and sometimes we take no responsibility. But that kind of exercise, although incredibly rewarding and productive, can be daunting to go in, and it can be very one-sided if you're the kind of person that likes to beat yourself up. So I always start with an inventory of assets, and they are not little assets. Like, we're talking 50. You have to come up with 50 character assets, and they can be, little, but they need to be applied in a sentence. So you can say, I'm grateful for my dog, or no, that's a gratitude list. I am a pleasant person. I am a pleasant person and very friendly to everyone I meet. That kind of thing, not just I'm friendly or I'm pleasant or I have nice hair. It's like, gotta really think about all the stuff that you're bringing to the table. And we always start with that because I want people to have a more balanced view. Well, knowing that we have this inner dialogue and it's going to try to take us off course and we're going to ruminate on negative, we've got to do these affirmations. And maybe you don't want to call them affirmations. Maybe you've been scarred by the Saturday Night Live skit, I'm special and I like me. And maybe you want to be, a little too cool for school. Roll your eyes at this, but let me tell you, there's true science behind it. And it has to happen. So get over yourself and start thinking about the things that are good. And if you can't come up with them, write them down. Write down things that you're grateful for, or ask your loved ones some good things about yourself, because they're there. And you're going to have to take on the responsibility and the job of reprogramming your brain. And why is this so important? Well, there's a couple of things. One, we have to prime ourselves. We have to prime ourselves to be ready for these kinds of situations when they're negative. We have to prime ourselves and get ready for life. Athletes prime themselves. They rehearse. Actors rehearse. People who go on stage like I do and speak publicly, we rehearse. We get ready. We get in the same headspace. Why do we not give ourselves that gift when we're out in the world doing things that are difficult? Why do we feel like our humdrum day or something that isn't fantastic or at a high level that doesn't deserve to have thought and words and rehearsals and priming ourselves to get ready? I don't know, but this is what all this transformational work does. It starts priming us to have the life that we were intended to have the life that you were intended to have. So I want to tell you a couple studies in case you are still somebody who doesn't believe in the power of words and positive self-talk and affirmations and visualization and all those tools. There's the strawberry yogurt study where they took people into a darkened room and blindfolded them, and they put a bowl of yogurt in front of them, and they said, this is what we want to do. We want you to taste the yogurt and tell us, about the flavor. It's strawberry yogurt, and we really want to have some descriptive words about it. And after they were done, everybody did their interviews about how wonderful the strawberry yogurt was, how much it tasted, like fresh strawberries, how much they enjoyed it. And then they were told, well, it's chocolate yogurt. And that blew people away because only a few people said this doesn't taste like strawberry. And what that shows me that if we prime our brain, and if you are in a place where you can give yourself something positive, it has to be real. We can't, just say, oh, I'm 6 feet tall when you're 5'8". But if you come in and you use those words, it shows how powerful having a intention or being told something and believing it makes it seem like a reality. You can literally trick your brain into thinking that you're tasting strawberry yogurt instead of chocolate yogurt. And then I loved this other study. And this was, they had 3 sets. And what they wanted to talk about was the physiological effect of anxiety and what that does to anybody who is, trying to, become part of this world or become their best, truest self. And we all know that anxiety is sister to excitement, and it's the same physiological response in your body. And again, words matter. So they had 3 groups of people, and it's kind of a funny one because, one, I love this song. They had the first group, which is the control group, and what they did was they brought them in and they said, here is a karaoke machine and you need to sing Don't Stop Believing by Journey. No instructions whatsoever. The people sang it, that's your control group. Then they brought in a second group and they said, you're going to sing Don't Stop Believing, but before you sing it, you're going to say this one sentence, I feel anxious. And they sang it. And then the third group that came in, you're going to sing Don't Stop Believing. And before you sing it, you're going to say, I am so excited. Well, they tested accuracy, notes, and words. And I'm sure you guessed it. The people that said, I am so excited, beat the people that were told to say, I am anxious. Whether they felt anxious or not, that's what they were told to say. They beat them 3-1. And even more exciting, the people that said, I feel excited, or I feel so excited, beat the control group. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you have the ability to exercise. Remember I was talking about the happiness curls yesterday? You have the ability to exercise and prime yourself to get ready for each day and to move toward what you want to do. And frankly, nobody else is going to do it for you. So why do it? Well, if you want an extraordinary life, and I believe everybody's own calling, the strongest force, Tony Robbins says, the strongest force in our universe is to rise to who we believe we are. If you are able to change your priming and change your thoughts and say the things that matter, you can rise to an occasion where you are more connected to other people, where you are a better mother. Maybe you're in your second half of life like I am, and you have spent, in my case, it's a special needs situation, but I've spent a tremendous amount of preferring my son's needs ahead of mine, like, you know, most people do, but in a special needs case, it's amplified. And you are figuring out where you might want to be next, or that you have to figure out where you might want to be next. Well, this is for you, okay? This is for you, because we all need to go through our grief. We all have the need to feel what we need to feel, you know, and we deserve that. And we deserve to be in a place of non-judgment about those kinds of situations. But all these other things are well within your control. How you talk to yourself, how you talk about yourself, and priming yourself, exercising what you know about how other people see you in the positives and where you might want to go. So I wanted to put that out there for you. Let me see if there's one other thing. Reframing, sister emotions. No, I think I covered it all. Oh, wait. The other thing is I want to talk about is practicing saying no. So if you're a good little codependent or a busy mom or a woman, maybe not all women are like this, but most of the people I've met, most of my friends, it's hard to say no. And it's really hard to say no to somebody in person. And I listened to this expert about, behaving appropriately and having that kind of affect on people that makes them feel comfortable. And this I thought was so brilliant. She said, don't ever agree or commit to doing something in person, because you need to practice saying, I need to check my schedule. I'll have to compare my schedule to my husband's, whatever it is. But make sure that you give yourself the gift of time to figure out whether you really have the time to do it. You may really want to do it. And even if you know you're going to do it, still practice saying, let me get back to you. And that will bring you such agency and, the practice of boundaries. It will start to train people around you that your time is valuable and that you plan to make sure that when you are signing up for something that you're able to show up for that. And I just love that. And maybe it doesn't have anything to do with the beginning of this video, but I wanted to put that out there for my sisters to say, let's practice saying, let me get back to you. Let's practice doing that. And then if you do have to say no, this one's hard. You do have to say no. Don't feel like you have to give an explanation. You can say, this sounds like a great idea. I hope you have a fabulous time doing it and I'm not able to make it. Perhaps we can meet next week for a cup of coffee. That's a big one for me because I get invited out to do things in the evenings and I am not as good a person the next day as I want to be. And so unless it's something that only happens in the evening, in which I will go to, like my group tonight with my ladies who I love, I'm usually try to be home, at least, most nights of the week. And I remember when that wouldn't have been acceptable. I would have felt like I had to be at everything. So be true to yourself, because that's what we're looking for, to be our truest self, and love yourself. And make sure that you do a little homework and say, write down a few things that you could say to yourself to prime yourself for tomorrow. All right. Hi, Stacy. Talk to you later. Bye.